Was this your idea, Amy?
No, this was not inspired by me.
This was Tammy Faye's idea.
Well, of course, the mother of us all.
Yes.
What's she doing now?
She just married someone else.
She married Jim Baker's best friend.
She moved to Calcutta and started to take care of it. She married his accountant.
Yeah, right.
His accountant? That's not sleazy.
No, I don't know.
Who's got some Anacin or something? Ibuprofen?
I have Advil. I have some other
I've got
cramps as well, so.
There's aspirin upstairs in the
Amy, I'm feeling
bathrooms.
bloated.
And there's Alka-Seltzer in the minibar.
Do you need a water pill? Because I think I am.
What do you
Want some Advil?
Heal,
A Pamprin, maybe.
It takes care of headaches, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking. We'll have some
That's
Percodans and Valium.
Let's just get to the heart of the matter.
How's it look? Good?
Is there an ashtray?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get...
Maybe we'll just have a community ashtray, right?
Right over here.
How's that?
There we go.
Okay.
Right underneath.
How many
Put this
Advil
over
would
here.
you like?
Dr.
I was
Death.
talking about Krist Novoselic, the suicide therapist. Like, listen, you commit suicide. Then I pull out a business card. Kevorkian. But that guy pulled into the court today, I saw him, in a blanket. He's been on a hunger strike, 11 days. Oh, God. I am the withered symbol
Of something.
of what do they call that? That was, in Washington, they had that initiative, and it failed.
Euthanasia?
Euthanasia, right to die. I'm the symbol for the right to die. Pro-lifers are like pro-lifers on both ends. Like, fetuses and chronically dead people falling apart.
Chronically dead people.
But they're pro-death penalty. Keep forgetting that.
Moment of silence. Huh. Okay, we're going. Okay, we want to get some information on Shonen Knife. Could you tell that story again? Because that was a great story. Anecdotes on Shonen Knife. Sort of.
Well, I remember the first time we played a show with them was in England. We did about 10 shows with them. And the first night we were just playing these smaller places, like 1,000 capacity places, if that. And the crowds were just like beer swilling, English boys. And they came up on stage and they looked kind of frightened. And at first they got up on stage and everyone just thought, what the fuck, what is this, what kind of, and so they went into their first song and everyone just seemed sort of baffled, and next couple songs, people, they won over the audience by the end of the night, but I remember
Every show, they won
every
over the
show,
audience
people were
after
just
2 songs
like
or so. It
almost
was
in
amazing.
tears, and for us to see
I
that
was
every
choked
night,
up.
it would really choke you up. And I remember the first person that came over the crowd onto the stage, they all just left back like, oh my god, like, someone's out to get us.
I was an emotional sap the whole time. I cried every night.
You couldn't help it, You had to hold,
And it's like, if you were some kind of weird idealist, and there was all of a sudden that lyric, lollipop for everyone, it's just like, that's when I
I'm
lost
gonna
it.
burst.
So is America ready for this, do you think? I mean, can this fly in this country, do you suppose?
Yeah, I hope so. It seems a bit overdue now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with the record company. It doesn't seem like they're being promoted very much. At least I haven't seen any ads or anything. You just don't really hear about them very often
Yeah.
until they're ready to go on tour with us again.
Well, it's sort of like in the grand tradition of, like, the Ramones never had hit records. I mean, why is this,
Yeah, I don't know.
There'll be some revival of the Shonen Knife in
But if it
2009 or 2010.
Yeah.
Like that early 90s revival. Like, they're going to all draw from it.
Wow. And you're doing a good thing by having them out here. What do you think of them as musicians?
They're wonderful.
Great.
They're great.
I don't know how to define a musician.
Have they explained any of the lyrics to their songs to you in any cogent way?
What's that Madonna song? Express yourself. You got to make it. Hey, 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 hey.
What was the question?
The question was, have they explained any of their lyrics to you?
No, the communication is pretty small. Francis is usually the mediator.
Yeah.
It's really hard to talk to them, and vice versa. Language barriers pretty intense. So.
But when they do Heat Wave, the language barrier.
Yeah. I've read their lyric sheets too, and it's just like, Not to
No, I don't. I've never had to have any explanation because I've seen most of their lyrics printed in English,
Yeah.
and most of their songs are sung in English. So
True. They're great. We love them. The how is the? I wanted to ask you what it's like playing with these guys, as opposed to playing with your previous group.
Oh, it's kind of the same.
Well, that's good. That's good.
you call me Darby?
Yeah, it's got the same problem.
Oh, gee, I hope not. I hope that's not true. Could you tell us something about getting together with William Burroughs and working on that record? And what it was like?
It was a long distance recording. I think he had already done his piece, and then at the last minute, we were in Seattle and we were over at Dave's friend's house, Barrett, and he has a little, like a 16 track or something, this little studio, and he just turned the DAT machine on, and I just masturbated for about 20 minutes, and then sent it to them, and they edited it.
So you didn't actually meet him anytime?
Not at that time, but just recently when we were in Kansas City, I met him.
What did you make of him?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I mean, someone that I've admired all my life, you know.
Yeah.
To meet him was just a big thrill. I was really nervous the whole time. I just was kind of uncomfortable in a way. I mean, although he was really accommodative and everything and nice.
Yeah.
You know,
What about the cobwebs in that?
I sat in this
box-
argon machine.
Argon machine.
And there were black
Argon
widows
box?
in there. Yeah, he still has one.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I was afraid because I have arachnophobia. And he had to kill all the spiders for me.
Oh,
He was great. And he
probably
took me over
enjoyed
to
that.
his house, which is like 2 blocks away, this other house where he does most of his art.
Yeah.
Since some amazing art, I didn't realize how much of an accomplished artist he was, you know? He really has done some great stuff. He uses all kinds of instruments, from toilet plungers to spatulas, dips them in paint and splats them all over things, and he got pretty cool results. I was amazed.
Yeah, he must be like 80 years old by now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. About that, he just turned 70-something.
Yeah.
78, 79.
Wow.
But
What did
he's
you,
still
as a
ticking.
fan, what did you make of Naked Lunch, the movie? Do you think that captured the book at all?
Yeah,
It's
I
an
thought it was
interesting
as
film.
good as Hollywood could probably do.
Yeah.
You know? I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Did the what did I want to ask you? I wanted to get a little bit of sort of your early history, if possible, just about what life was like in Aberdeen, because I think a lot of people grow up in towns like
You ever
Aberdeen.
been to Aberdeen?
I've never been to Aberdeen.
Oh.
But I grew up in a really tiny town too, so I just wondered.
Where at?
In New Jersey,
Hmm.
really tiny.
Yeah, it's weird. Like where we are, it's like Boise, Spokane, Seattle, Olympia, Aberdeen, China. You know, it's like no.
Not a lot
trade.
to do there. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I've never gone swimming in the ocean.
I did.
Lived in the next to an ocean all my
Ooh,
life.
I got pulled out by the riptide, and all of a sudden I got spooked, and I saw there was like something poked out at me. It was a sea lion, like looking at me.
Oh, wow.
And I see all the breakers on the shore.
Then
like-
here comes Slash, just like.
And I crossed myself and thank the John Paul II.
Well, that leads right into my next question, because I want to find out what everybody thinks now that all 3 episodes of the Guns video is out.
I haven't seen the last one.
Now that
I
it
get
makes
it!
sense, yeah.
Any thoughts? Like,
I think they still have something up their sleeve. Maybe there'll be a 4th.
Whatever happened to
I
John
know.
Paul I? I mean, how many days was he in the Vatican? And he, you know, that's what I get out of that.
so there's no definitive answer on that. I'm puzzled by that video too. Have you guys worked with Iggy? I noticed you thank him on your liner notes.
I played drums for him one time.
Oh yeah, you did.
Where?
A long time ago, when I was in a band called Scream, and we were playing at a club, and Iggy Pop was having a record release before our show, and he was just gonna stand up and play guitar and sing all the stuff from his Brick by Brick album, and it sounded really bad, I guess, and so he just needed a drummer, and so I played drums, and the bass player Scream played bass, and we played 4 or 5 songs.
How was it?
It was fucking great. It was really nice. He was really nice guy.
Yeah, it is.
Easy to work with.
I hung with him when I was about 15, and he was like at a
Peak.
like major loser stage. And, like nobody knew who the fuck he was, and he was just all. And he was just like going through my 15-year-old girlfriend's purse, going, "Man, you got me like, please, anything in there?" Pushing him around in his wheelchair,
See, those
hanging
were,
out his window, going, "Anybody got any drugs, man?"
those were the days.
Those were one thing.
We
Oh,
thought
God.
they'd never, we think they lied.
I was talking to Mike Mills about you from REM about you guys just a couple weeks
Now,
ago.
there's a party animal.
There's a guy who just goes wild. You know?
He is
He really is. I've
He
seen him
isn't
smoke
the-
more pot than like Don Fleming. You know.
Holy shit! But he was saying he's glad that he didn't have this sort of success, that his band didn't have this sort of success foisted on them at your age. He said it's really hard to handle it when you're young. Do you feel that's conceivably true?
I'm older and wiser.
Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you really don't know everything when you're in your early 20s. Believe it or not.
That's some probably don't know
Like my
everything at any
testicles are
time.
totally tight up here, and then after I was going to throw it, they hung. Finally, we were going to like, that's how hung up I was.
What was the do you remember when you were kids, like the first music that you heard that turned you on? Was it actually rock stuff, or was it maybe some lame
That
sort of
turned
music?
me on, yeah, but like in 6th grade or 5th grade, Kiss or like Elton John or whatever was on top 40, kind of rock and sweet Ballroom Blitz. I remember when Ballroom Blitz was on the radio and I had this like Radio Shack recorder. And so I put it on record, and I put it up to the speaker, and I cranked it, and I was like fucking rocking out. And I played it back, and it was so distorted. And I like never thought that I cranked it. I thought that sweet, this song is so rocking that you can't even record it, man. That's what I thought. It was too hard rock.
When did punk arrive where you guys were living? I mean, did it come on time, like 77, or did it come a little later?
Let's just say that people were still wearing bell bottoms in 1987.
Wow. But surely there was a small enclave of people that would get the records, right?
Right.
Everyone.
No,
It came at
not
the right-
when it came out. Absolutely not. I really doubt if anyone, bought Nevermind the Bullocks. Or, I mean,
Really?
No way.
anything.
That's
like that.
77. But people were
Not
buying
those
like the
days.
Butthole Surfer's first record and
By the mid '80s, or
Yeah.
the mid '80s.
Yeah.
like My War, Black Flag.
They used to have to go to Seattle to get it. Never came
Or
out.
Olympia. You can go to Olympia
Yeah.
too.
Do you go back and visit Aberdeen a lot, or?
I do.
I can't even remember the last.
Because I got
time
my
was
old
there.
family there and a bunch of old timers there. Like people who are really old, like Clayton Deavy and stuff. And those guys are like the old. Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you two
That's-
related?
yeah.
These guys are
We're
related.
relation.
They're related.
It is.
We didn't know that until like last year.
Yeah.
You're
through
related?
Clayton
They're
Deavy.
related.
In what way?
They all have 6 toes on each foot.
No, it's through marriage. It's like this weird marriage relation, but his uncle is my uncle.
But everyone in Aberdeen's related.
One way or another.
Like a Jukes and Calicax thing. Great.
But these people are cool. These people are so cool because they're the old time Washington people, the old time Aberdeen people, and they're like total full of respect and they're really neat and they remember all the old times and they're really cool to like talk to them.
Old timers disease.
Related.
We have too much aluminum.
Aluminium.
Wow. Did the looking back now at the sort of the whole sub pop grunge thing? Now that we can put it in the past, I think. What do you make of it all? I mean, do you think it hurt the music at all, or hurt bands, or was it a good thing as a promotional vehicle? I mean,
Always a good thing, sure.
If someone wouldn't have come up with grunge, it would have been called something else.
I mean, did it ever have any meaning? Do you think?
Did it ever have any what?
Any meaning?
I don't think it described what kind of guitar rock we were playing at the time pretty well. I thought it was an okay word.
There was a scene too. There was like bands like the Fluid and
Yeah.
Tad and Mudhoney, Swallow, like the whole sub pop scene. Like
Let's not forget Blood Circus.
Oh, Blood Circus. God, thanks for reminding me. And it was like really cool. Like people would play shows, and it was like no pretensions or anything. It was just like rock and roll bands intertwining with other rock and roll
It was the
bands.
first time that I had seen an audience just get completely loose. You know, to break down all that cool barriers, you know, where people are trying to be punk or cool in the early and mid 80s, you know, when we used to go to punk rock shows, you know, when all of a sudden, you know, Sub Pop was putting out records and we were all friends with all these other bands and the audiences at the places like the Vogue and the Central, it was incredible. Like, people were, you know, diving all over each other and falling down drunk and smiling and just vomiting and having a great time. You know, it's just, there were no inhibitions at that time. So everyone decided, let's have fun, you know.
Is it still possible to do that, do you think? I mean, is that
Not
still
in Seattle.
Not in Seattle, no. We tried to play a show at the Crocodile a little while ago, and it was one of the stiffest, most uncomfortable shows I've ever played.
People were just watching, expecting.
Expecting what?
Expecting the Nevermind phenomenon. Fuck up. Like, fuck up, yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom.
No.
Okay, can you
There's
just
one right there.
go handheld? We're just going to send the camera with you. And
Virtual world.
Lance. No, there's no.
yeah, I think there is Lynn in there.
Hey, look, I'm getting married.
Is this a long time thing?
Oh, go
What?
drink some.
You and
You want
Jennifer?
Our
some more
relationship?
wine? I'll get some more wine.
A couple years.
So the whole band's going to be married.
Except for Pat.
Yeah.
I've had this Zoom with
Let's just do it, please.
You know you can watch that movie.
Thank you.
You were in the military.
We have an extra wine glass
I
here.
caught that a few times. You were in the military. Ever be overseas? You ever in the military?
Okay, so you guys went and got Steve Albini to produce your record, which I thought struck me as a really good idea because I think production, as it's developed over the years, really seems to smooth out music a lot. You know, I think maybe more people should do that. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
I mean, you hear riffs that were once like revolutionary, and now they're on Aerosmith records, and they're meaningless.
Big. Everything got to sound big.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds flat. Tame.
I mean, did you tell Albini you wanted something, or did you just go to him because
No.
he had something?
See, he doesn't consider himself
He's
a
got
producer.
it. He's got it, and
He's a recorder.
he will not let go of it. Like for Albini, you know, he's got his ethic. You know, you gotta either do the song like 3 takes or 4 takes, and then like forget it. Don't even record it. You know. So we went in there, and all our chops were really strong. So we like first take, we did all these songs. So it caught his interest. But yeah, it's like really like narrow, but really cool. Like really like hard and about Albini's production.
Oh, we weren't listening to you. We were talking about something else.
They were talking
Blood
about blood and
blister.
blisters. Yeah.
I was trying to draw you into this
Oh, sorry.
conversation.
I'm sorry. Let's start over.
Most of the songs on our record were first take.
No overdubs, just done straightforward.
No, there were
overdubs.
Guitar overdubs.
Has having Pat in the band changed the dynamic on stage?
Sure.
Makes it a lot more fun.
Ooh, makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It gives everyone something to look at.
Oh yeah, right. Half the time I don't even ever look at the other guys. I mean, I have so many other things to concentrate on, and then I look over and I see Pat's smiling face, and it just gives me a bit of hope. You know, makes me feel good.
I know I saw you guys at Roseland. I think what I saw was right, that the stuff you're using on stage for like little stomp boxes are just little stomp boxes, right? They're not $300 great big.
Oh no, they're old, early '70s Electro Harmonics effects boxes.
Wow, how do you keep that stuff going?
Bernie Bailey.
Yeah, our guitar friend. This guy he can fix anything, a blender or a guitar. He's great. He's just and they're
He's
kind of
into
hard
old
to find.
technology.
Yeah, those things are kind of hard to find, and I guess they're becoming collector's items now.
I think there's a store in New York that collects that stuff.
He knows, like,
Yeah,
like
Rogue
they,
Music.
Price sells
they
it for
use this
exorbitant prices.
capacitor, they use this transistor because they used this poor grade cheap transistor at the time That's what gave it that sound. Like if you used a modern transistor, it wouldn't sound as
True.
cool.
If you were to use the same schematic but used contemporary electronics, you wouldn't get the same sound. You know what I mean?
The Soviet Union is now the cornerstone has got them.
Yeah.
Electroharmonic Cobain,
It's a Red Army pedal.
Yeah,
you
they
make
make
them out
those
of
pedals.
tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks. And you go, you like crank on it.
That's the technology
Really?
that made
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The sheet metal is about
They're not
that
the
thick.
same.
It's so heavy.
The tank part.
Starship
Yeah.
box
Still?
is just
No, they're not.
Wow.
I got a big muff.
And that's a big muff.
They're
It's
not
a
as good.
total tank.
I got a big
Tank materials. That's what they made out of. It's like
junior high school.
you stomp on it, and the metal around it is like total thick, and that like olive drab, like Soviet olive green color. It's just like wow, amazing.
Well, I have to ask
now
you
you can buy a spacesuit, like Soviet Union.
run your
Think about
guitar
all the
through it,
parties you
and
can have. Like, hey, who am I?
so I have to ask you about the story of the moment, since the only thing we cover is this Michael Jackson thing. What do you think is happening? What do you think?
we have no right to even.
No, I'm not asking you to speculate on his guilt or innocence. What do you think of just the uproar over it, like this?
I think it's
They need a
ridiculous.
story.
It's a
Story.
waste of
The
time.
press needs a story. Doesn't matter what the story is. It's a story.
Why don't you ask
You know,
Latoya? She'll do
This
it.
starving
Yeah.
child.
Latoya. What do you think of
This is
Latoya?
it. The story is not like Sarajevo. It's a starving child in Sarajevo who's like foaming at the mouth and has like all this shell shrapnel in his back. The story is that child foaming at the mouth and not what's like going on there. It's like the story. You gotta have a story. Where
Why
would
can Latoya pose nude with a snake but not have sexual relations with her sleazy Las Vegas husband?
Question for the ages. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, all these people are just, there's this big story in Vanity Fair about this, and just everybody involved in the story just seems like scum. I mean, they just seem horrible.
Yeah.
They just seem horrible.
Fuck you all.
Yeah, it's just.
all the story press is like perspective. They got to get perspective on something, like in Rolling Stone. And how many perspectives have we read about the '60s? The '60s, what it meant, and where we are is like baby boomers and all this shit. It's like perspective and story and like revisionism. And it's just fucking who knows what is after that. You know, you read all this crap. Just
So are the authorities calling Michael back to the States? Is he actually breaking a law right now?
Not yet, because he hasn't been charged with anything criminally,
Well, in
but he has a civil
January.
suit pending, and
Yeah,
he's supposed to be here
yeah, but
maybe
the
this
Globe
weekend.
say
Deposition in
legally,
January.
he
I heard.
isn't like, you know.
No, he's not a fugitive.
jumping.
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, so what's the big deal?
Well,
He has
I
all
think
the
they
right to
think
be
they
away
think that,
until-
but I think they think he's acting suspicious.
so it's speculation.
Yeah, oh, totally. I mean, who knows?
What
I mean,
I
it wouldn't
say-
matter if he got on Oprah again and cried in front of everybody. It's not going to change anyone's opinion.
You know what's going to
about it.
happen? He's going to fake his death. They're going to fucking burn him, and he's going to have his ashes scattered over Euro Disney. That's it. And I'll never.
And they're
drink-
desperate. They'll go for it.
I just feel really sorry for
Every
him.
time, you know, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call out my name, and I'll be there. And who's it goes on? Tito. And Tito comes out. I'll be there to comfort you.
Hey, Tito's the cool one, I think.
He was only involved in the Mall of America thing. It's the only strange
It's
thing
just
he
the
did.
What's that?
press needs
Oh,
a
that's a
story.
great place.
Story,
Makes
Is
more
story.
he
sense.
involved in the Camp
Polly
Snoopy
Kloss.
ordeal?
Look at
Snoopy? I don't know.
Polly Kloss.
Camp Sniper.
Story. That was a story.
Well,
It was a
you know,
tragic story.
that's what journalism does. They zoom into a great big issue and take one thing out of it, and that's and people. The theory is that people can relate to the one thing.
And I'm giving you a story too, as a press person. I'm saying Polly Kloss, Klaas,
Right.
and like Polly Wants a Cracker, the song Polly. You know, and nobody latched on that, so I thought,
They'll latch on it as soon as we're playing in LA.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about this this song. Where Did You Sleep Last Night? That you do. Where did you first come upon this?
I'm off of one of my Lead Belly records. Actually, Burroughs, I was reading an interview with him in a magazine one time, and he said something like, these rock and roll kids of nowadays should throw away their electric guitars and listen to some real soul music, and they should listen to Lead Belly. And that was quite a few years ago, so
Yeah.
that's how I was introduced to him.
Except for that version you did on MTV Unplugged was great. It's just
Thank you.
phenomenal. It's really cool.
We don't play it very often because it's pretty emotional,
Yeah.
and so we usually just save it for special moments.
Because I'd heard that song originally was In the Pines, and it was done by like Bill Monroe and Mike Seeger.
Yeah,
all these
Seegers,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Just for years and years
They
and years.
they
like
like
Van Ronk. I mean.
in the early '50s, like they totally did all the Lead Belly songs. The Seegers.
Yeah, all kinds of people ripped him off.
Yeah. They were the
He
first
wrote a
one.
lot of really great songs.
Creedence Clearwater. Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
What was that one singing group that really ripped him off all the time?
Oh, the Weavers.
The Weavers.
Weavers, yeah. Weavers,
really
not the
lame
Seegers.
white group.
The Weavers, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, Pete Seeger was in the Weavers. Yeah.
The Seegers were in the Weavers.
Well, Pete Seeger was in the
The
Weavers, and Mike
Seeger-
Seeger was another Seeger
Seeger
who
Weavers.
did other stuff. It's much too complicated to get into. But it's a great tune. Are there any other songs like that you might be doing sometime in the future, like these nuggets of American folklore?
No, not that I can think of right now.
We did Seasons in the Sun. And that's American
folk.
folklore.
Yeah.
It is. We had joy, we had fun, we had to.
We should have played it. We should start playing that because we practiced it the other day.
Didn't you say you wanted to get the story of the... He wants to get the story of the B-side again. I think he wants
Put the bone in?
Put the bone in.
Put
like
the bone
Like the
in.
narrative sort of thrust of it.
Well, Put the Bone In is about a man's dog who's hit by a car, and they're burying the dog, and he's begging to put the bone in.
With the dog.
With the dog. That's about it.
Does it have a resolution of some sort? Does he get to put the bone in?
It's just, a funny little chorus.
Do you think it's a double entendre of some sort? Do you think they're saying one thing but actually
Huh?
means something else?
What do you mean?
Like one of those, like put the bone in.
I don't think Terry
Into
Chapman-
the-
Innuendo.
There's nothing sexual
You're
about
worse
it.
than the English, man. You're baiting us. No?
That's baiting!
They're baiting us.
Fair
man.
play. Yeah.
Sounds like Taz is baited. He's baited.
So how long will this tour go on? Are you going to be on the road for the rest
For fucking
the next
ever.
2 years, or do you get
I
off?
don't know. It doesn't seem like we've even been on tour, really. Looking back on it, it's been the easiest, greatest tour I've ever been on.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's so relaxed and great.
Wow.
It's just, the morale is great. Our health is good. It's just, and playing these larger places is just, it's a lot easier for us because we can actually breathe instead of,
Yeah.
we've been going on tour for like 5 years of playing sweaty little clubs and sometimes choosing to play in the wrong time of the year, like in Texas in July,
Well, you get it. And like, everybody wants to just have a good time and really go for it. It's like totally rocking out and just like riding crazy. And like anybody who doesn't want to, you just kind of like shift back on like perimeter and just kind of rock out and watch, and it's like really satisfying, really good.
These are really good sized places that we're playing. The average of 3 to 5
Tonight was
thousand.
That was so.
So you're
time
not
was
going to
weird.
like super stadiums, or anything? Do you think that'll happen in
No,
the
we
summer?
couldn't actually.
We did. We went into this. It was like the St. Paul arena. It was 55, and I drove back into Minneapolis, and I saw this thing, and it was like so big. The top of it was like inflated, so it was like the total
Oh yeah.
inflation dome, big thing. That's where the Rolling Stones play. Like boom, boom.
There'd be pressure to do that when summer comes around, right? Won't they be saying, "Hey, stadiums, outdoor concerts"?
Well, we're thinking of maybe doing Lollapalooza if they'll
Yeah.
give us 100% of the back end.
Yeah. We're not that cool. We're not that cool. But we could go play like, oh yeah, after this tour we're gonna go and like play stadiums and sit there.
Well, I'm sure you
This
could.
is a song about hope.
Does anyone
You said
remember
this.
laughter?
Okay.
Size of Florida.
Elsa Clinch, my pussy is like a Brillo pad. Okay, I'm sorry. You guys wanted Elsa Clinch? I'm sorry. You guys baited me. And I was quoting.
Worst baiting.
I'm sorry.
We're rolling.
So what's this thing in Seattle? This sort of homecoming concert that you're playing with Pearl Jam.
Well, there's going to be a parade. We're going to be on the convertible Cadillac. We're going to be on the.
I was afraid of that.
That's homecoming, Seattle.
Isn't this going to be strange? Don't you have to pretend it's New Year's Eve?
Yes, we do.
It's like,
But I hear they've shipped in 1,000 people that look good on camera. Do you know that? It's like the entire cast of The
If
Grind.
the money's right, I'll do anything.
that's our crowd. We just have our crowd and we
okay.
just ship them all over the country.
If the money's right, I'll do anything.
Well, it's MTV. I'm sure the money's not right. This can't be why you're
There's
doing
no
it. So.
money. It's MTV.
It's like equals promotion. Like,
We get a free trip home.
I was bad at algebra.
But is this like? I mean, they're going to drop balloons and kind of. It just sounds
I don't know what's going on.
strange.
We're going to kill ourselves on stage like Gigi Allen.
Oh.
What a
We miss
wuss.
Gigi. Well, sort of.
He
That was a
killed
very
himself.
touching
Good
movie,
night,
Gigi's
Connie
the movie on
boy.
Gigi's life.
I'm scared to see my mom. I'm gonna have to kill myself.
No, he was buried. He was in Flipside. That guy was in Flipside. He's like totally like this, and then he had this like this leather coat, and he had this jockstrap that said "Eat Me." He's wearing this jockstrap, "Eat Me," like totally dead. That's like, well, I'm so impressed.
The
You're
cover
so
of the new
pumped.
record. Have you heard the cover of his new record?
I know.
It's him in a casket and the band standing around the casket like. I swear to God.
Gigi still sings. Gigi lives.
Did you ever see
Gigi.
Gigi? Did you see Gigi live?
No, I was just too afraid.
It was an amazing experience.
No,
I
I
was afraid.
just I could have went one time. I knew he was playing, but I just didn't get around to it.
You must
Would have been something.
handfuls of shit thrown at you, I suppose.
Yeah.
But still,
We being shit lovers ourselves.
as he was.
way scared. I'm definitely scared. I played at some club a few years back, and I'm about to sit in this couch with a big old fucking stain out, and they go,
Oh yeah,
they're just talking. Were you? That's in San
Gigi's
Francisco?
Kennel Club.
And they go,
That's his stain. That's
yeah.
Gigi's
And they go,
stain.
and that's how normal
We didn't
conversation
lean
goes.
against it. No
Oh,
way.
don't sit there. That's Gigi's shit. I'm like, oh, whoa.
It's in San Francisco. Kennel Club.
Yeah.
Stain of Gigi.
And this is like 1993 on 94. Body fluids are not cool anymore. No kinds of body fluids.
So maybe you could tell our audience about Francis Farmer, because I think there are a lot of people out there that don't know the Francis Farmer story, and we've sort of made a point of
You
bringing
should
her
buy
up.
the book Shadowlands.
Mhm.
It was written by I think it's a PI reporter.
Or see the movie. I suppose.
For you lazy people.
Remember being on Bainbridge Island when Chad was there? He showed us that whole mental institution.
Yeah.
It was really wild.
Is it closed down?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Because it's like repressive, old 40s, 50s mental institution where Francis Farmer was.
They bring you in with a cold and they give you a lobotomy or something.
Yeah, like raped every day and then given a lobotomy. And that's when, if you saw, that Jack Nicholson movie, he had...
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No.
Yeah, that was it. They had an episode in the
He was
Rocky
a
Files
concert
today like that,
pianist.
too.
He was a concert pianist and he dumped that girl.
I don't know.
Oh,
You got me
shit,
there.
you guys suck then.
I like
You guys
fire
don't know.
really.
No.
It's all on my eye.
You'll watch that movie and go, oh, that's what he was talking about. I'll get the drag up there.
Okay. You good? I think we're good. I think we've got it. Yeah, you guys are up and tired.
I was just kidding.
Well,
Other stuff y'all want to talk about that we haven't been smart enough to ask?
what are you listening to? What have you seen? What have you read?
Well, the tour's
Yeah.
gone great.
Yeah, it's just going great.
Why is it going so great?
Tour itinerary. No, I don't know. I think we've done a really good job at weeding out the audiences. I've been really surprised and happy to see the types of people that come to our shows.
What
I
types
know
are
that
they?
sounds elitist, but I mean, they're really... I was surprised to see that there are that many kids in every city that are just good, nice kids, you know? We were so afraid, we're really concerned, which, translated into bitching and whining for a couple of years, but we were so afraid of having people come to our shows to cause trouble, getting in fist fights. I haven't seen one fist fight in our show, and that's in a smaller type of arena atmosphere, and it's great. It's really nice and comforting to know that that's our audience, and we're really proud of that fact, I think.
What do you suppose it is that draws them to you?
I don't know.
Being fans. And
Just like in our music. I mean, just ignoring all the crap, all the rumors and stuff, and just being real, honest music fans. You know.
Yeah, this city was really like music fans.
It was a good city.
It was different.
It's just great to go to every show and see the same types of kids every show.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
We had no idea there were that many kids like that. You know, we were afraid that we were going to get the Judas Priest fans. You know.
And like we played some bigger auditoriums, like, but we never sold them out. Like 8,000, but we always did like 7,000 or something.
So we couldn't play arenas if
We're
we
not.
wanted to.
Yeah. We're not
Which is
that
great.
that hot, but the people who like are cool.
But the people who like us really like us.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember the last time I heard somebody say they were enjoying their tour so much. You know, everybody's usually bitching and moaning about it.
Well, we usually
We've
do,
had
but
that
it's
phone
just so
phase.
good compared to all our other.
And the
But it was the
fans
bitching and moaning about
They
it.
stay till the end of the show too, which
Like-
is
Yeah.
like new for me. I'm used to it. I'm serious. It's really weird. They stay
They're
till the
walking
end.
out.
It's like, God, they should walk out.
They
after
stay till the
25
end.
minutes.
Well, that's sweet. That's good. So will this go on? Will you go to Europe? Will you do Japan? Will you do the South
Yeah,
American
we go
thing?
to Europe in February, March,
Maybe not South America.
Japan,
South America.
Australia, and then we might do America.
Well, you're all soon going to be married. I mean, you're going to take the wives along on
This is the guy. No, I've been married for 4.
I
I'm
know.
going on 4 years.
He's getting married
She's
soon.
sick of rock. You know, everyone's talking about how they've lost their appetite for fried food. Fiance is like, I've lost my appetite for rock. You know,
Uh-oh.
yeah. But
So you
My
go home and she's
fiancé
playing
cooks-
like classical or something.
no,
Wyndham Hill.
it's just weird because when you take
Will
someone,
Ackerman
Heel
records.
monks.
I play that all the time.
first time I heard that, I thought it was Calvin Johnson. No, but they do more of like. Someone
I've
drops
missed them 3 times.
I saw them with Richard
Live.
Gere.
with Richard
With
Gere
Richard Gere.
opening.
You know
And
what?
Kitaro.
Have a religious
And
experience
Kitaro,
or be
all
a
on one bill.
voyeur.
Wow.
Have a religious experience or be a voyeur. Like you can kind of like be into it and just go, ooh, or just like, oh, the Gita monks and look and have like, oh, and boom. You know, they have the boom, which is like boom, and then the silence afterwards.
Let me know what we're talking about.
I have no idea. Maybe you're referring. I mean, the fact that they can get two voices out of this, out of their vocals is impressive.
3.
3?
Yeah.
3. There, yeah.
David Height.
Yeah. The harmonic choir.
Ask something about your light show, which this is comparing to the tour show. Your lights are really not arbitrary. It seems very tied and together and homogeneous.
Yeah, Suzanne.
Suzanne Sasek, she's fantastic.
She was on the cover of True Detective one time. Do you know that?
She's cool. Really? Yeah. You know what, Suzanne? She's Serbian, and I'm
No, I
Croatian.
swear to God.
And yet you get along.
Yeah, totally.
I think there's hope.
Did you like hire her, engage when she came up with this, or was there interaction?
No,
She was
we
probably
thought
always
she did with
Serbian,
Sonic
I think.
Youth.
Yeah, she'd been working with Sonic Youth. We just do everything with Sonic Youth.
Basically.
Does that work? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, you can't.
You know, I haven't
10
really
million
been
fans
able to
can't be wrong.
I haven't been able to see our light show very often. You know, my back's away from
I
it.
know, what light show?
I saw it on videotape. It was good.
It's
good,
cool.
good, good.
Yeah.
It was good,
It's cool.
good,
It's
good.
bright. It's pretty.
Suzanne.
It goes out, and comes back.
And I saw her doing other people's
like a
live shows, and
musician.
she's like,
Plays along
she's just
with
like just watches the band.
And she rocks too. She's like,
She rocks. Yeah,
sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, I just watch her and she's all. It's true. Have you ever watched her when we're
How
playing?
can you see her?
You can see her.
I can see her.
Yeah, and she rocks. Weird. She rocks out.
I used to think that the strobe lights would put me into these weird, like, epileptics.
I know. I'm always scared of that.
You know.
I have to just stand there and just like.
You can't move.
Notes, yeah.
Or Steve Albini had this idea when we were playing. He's like, he hates he hates click tracks instead and metronomes because he thinks they're too fascist and restricting. So he had this great idea that he'd put a strobe light in front of me, and I could like play along to this strobe light. And I'm just sitting there trying to play, and it's just awful, man.
Talk about your fascist stuff.
He was sticking his heels like. Strobe light.
So have you guys got the rhythm of the road down now? I mean, you're seasoned guys. You don't go out and like party all night. You party a little bit.
Oh no, that's what
No?
we've learned.
Not to do.
Yeah.
So now it's kind
I
of.
mean, our backstage area is so casual. It's actually really boring. But
It's
that's the way it
child
should
friendly
be.
because my
It's child
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
my sister-in-law goes, well, we gotta find a babysitter for Lindsay. It's like my niece
Yeah.
and stuff. I go, oh, you bring her along, man.
Bring her
There's
back.
like Francis there.
Francis has been on the tour the
and
whole
like,
time.
Yeah.
It's
She's
just
been
like,
the star of the show.
yeah, it's like totally mellow.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't allow any, label reps or,
That's interesting.
radio people back at all. So it's just us. We have dinner,
And then
say grace, eat dinner, and leave.
Well, it seems very organized. I guess it wasn't always this way, right?
Not really.
We used to go, we had our own van. We'd drive around, 3 guys in a van, wherever there's a show, we'd pull up.
Where's the van today? I mean, is
My
it
brother
considered-
has it.
Still running, huh?
It fucking runs
Wow.
like a clock. Never broke down on us, too. Because all these other bands, we always hear about their tragic stories about breaking down, and the van broke down. And our van is like all this wind.
Because you were such a Nazi about changing the oil. He never, in the middle of July, he wouldn't let us use the air conditioning because it cost him us gas, waste gas.
Or drive above
Burning
70
up.
miles an hour. Hey, you want to turn off the wipers?
But
Gee, the old days.
So that was your
see,
band.
Chris was always the papa in charge, according to the.
You know what?
band.
I was also the biggest guy, and I had about $800, $900 in my wallet, or right here, front pocket. And like everybody wanted any money. You want any money? Oh, I gotta buy some records or this. I'm like, also, oh yeah, sure. I fucking handed it off.
What about craft
Never.
night? Arts and crafts nights.
We did that collage. And all that shit.
Arts and crafts nights?
Nah, we were just like kind of creative. We had like all these collages and shit. Man, oh shit. Oh.
Do you have a cigarette, Chris? Pat, do you have a cigarette?
Mm-hmm.
Dad, you get shoes?
No, I lost my shoes.
Aqua things.
He wears aqua socks.
I've lost 2 pairs of shoes in the past week. I don't have any shoes left. All I have is my fucking.
Where'd you get that hat?
I bought it in a secondhand store in Fort Lauderdale.
Ooh.
And I bought a tie that looked like a spider web. And I bought a black shirt. I like this hat.
So I was just wondering where you got it. You don't see them often.
It's a good hat. And I was like in Florida. And like,
It's a good hat.
What is
Florida,
good?
we were-
right wingers.
We were
I go,
looking
you
for
know what?
guns in Florida.
Okay, check this out. Yeah, we were, because the guy goes, somebody said there was a bullet with each one of our heads on it. Yeah, because it was, it's probably because of the heart-shaped box video or whatever.
Because of the heart-shaped
We
box
had some
videos, somebody's going to shoot you?
assassination Threats.
Right.
on
So
a
I go,
few
oh, well,
shows.
I'm gonna go to,
Well,
I'm gonna go to a
let's not
store.
mention that.
I'm gonna go to a store. This is really funny because were you with me that day?
Yeah, we
But
went
I-
to the pawn shop.
We went to the pawn shop, and I saw these 45s, and I go, I'm going to buy that one right there. There's a 3-day period in Florida. I go, oh, forget it. And so I swallowed it, and I went to New Orleans. I'm walking around, and you know those great streets in New Orleans and all the, like, balconies and shit? I see Jim Brady, his wife. I see Jim fucking Brady. I swear to God. He was there, Jim fucking Brady, and he was like in his like wheelchair, and he had his bald head and his like scar and all that shit. And I want to go, congratulations, Mr. Brady, like on your crime bill, but like all these mainstream.
Today
But on the other hand, he wants to buy a fucking gun. Yeah. It's like, Jim Brady, you're pissed.
We're gonna take you 3 days.
You got to see my brother Robert and I.
To die in 3 days.
Yeah. My brother and me, we got a fucking Chinese rifle and that 45,
The best kind.
and we can hit anything on
Really
past
accurate.
the camera. We are a dead shot.
What are you going to do with this expertise, do you think?
Shoot cane.
Love my family. Hey, we were on the grassy knoll last week. Let's talk fucking serious business here.
What do you-
No way that guy could have shot him from that.
Well,
from that
there's this
place.
book that just came out, Case Closed, makes a really, really good argument.
Fuck case
For that.
closed.
Not-
We were on the grassy knoll. We looked up at the book suppository, and we said, "There's no way that he could have made that shot. There's no way. Even if he had one of those
As we were
laser
standing
guns."
by the little fence,
Mhm.
the picket fence, that was an easy shot.
Yeah.
you know?
Right. But according to this book, the distance from the book depository to Kennedy is shorter than the distance he had to fire in the Marines.
Whatever.
You should have saw it.
There was no way.
Robert and I
Have you
had
been there?
a fucking
Yeah.
target.
Didn't you
thing.
think no
It
way?
was so far.
Well, at the time, it was a long time
It was
ago,
so
yeah, but this
far.
book is really
I had
persuasive.
Like 45, and he had that Chinese
It's a
rifle, and we
book.
like switch him off. And we were like picking him off, man. It was far away.
We just had a guy in New York the other day, got on a railroad car and just started blasting away. And just
Yeah.
killed people. Man. Incredible.
That's what I say.
Long Island. Let's get it straight.
Long Island, that's-
He purposely didn't go to New
Kill
York.
people, random, kill people that deserve it.
Precisely. You know, you should think about these things. It shouldn't be a spontaneous occurrence.
Oh, come down.
You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I didn't say. Did I say that?
I said I'm a mime.
Got my hand behind his back.
You guys have patched that all up, and I think all Seattle bands love each other, don't they? I mean,
Always have.
Did you hear about the Matt Lukin story? Oh, this is a great one.
I haven't heard it. I hear it.
There's Pearl Jam.
Mudhoney are on tour with Pearl Jam. Right?
Mudhoney's on tour with Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's doing Jeremy Spoken. And Matt Lukin walks on stage with the gorilla mask and goes, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." And everybody on it is going, oh, what the fuck?
You've ruined the moment.
Oh, you know? And Matt Lukin was my best man at my wedding. No shit. That's why I go like fucking Matt is my man.
The alcohol was a flowing that day.
Yeah.
Shit, you were
Just
there.
that day, though.
Must have been a
I was
Friday.
throwing your wedding cake out the window.
I know. we had like this big liquor, like
Yugoslavian
Rakia,
pig liquor.
Rakia, the
Oh.
Croatian
Yeah.
Slivovitz going.
A fig liquor. Is that a racist remark or what?
that stuff's
I'm no
dangerous.
pig.
Does that sound like totally racist?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this fig liquor.
Phil Collins.
Big fuck liquor.
So you've been back to Croatia since your last visit? Are you in touch with things over there?
Oh,
With your
There's-
relatives, I should say.
yeah, I have relatives there, and they're like relatives, like oh, we're okay, and things are kind of screwy. We don't have any water and electricity, but don't you worry, Chris. We're gonna be okay, and all that shit. But I'm gonna be there. When's our break in our
We
tour?
have like 10 days or
In
something.
March. Yeah, I'm gonna drive down there.
I'm not going.
I'm gonna go.
You gonna go?
Yeah.
Good, because I asked you, and I asked you wouldn't go.
I can't, Chris. I'm too afraid.
It's all right, man. I'm the most prominent Croatian, so I can cruise through there. I'm telling you that much.
You're like magic there. They wouldn't fire
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Fuck
Chris
yeah, man.
arrives in his glass cubicle. Another parade.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I don't want to go.
in that way, it's
wanna
true.
die.
It's true.
So when you come to Croatia, like it's like it is like a homecoming, right?
No, there's like avenues open. Yeah.
Is that a big thing when the avenue is open in Croatia?
I don't know. I'm writing for this magazine called Arcsan or something like that. It's like the leading opposition newspaper. So I'm like writing for it. And it's most smart ass shit, like total like Boris Yeltsin, the whole cold turkey capitalism. She's like, I totally dash it all.
So you're writing inflammatory political tracts, and you're going to
Totally.
visit. You're going to visit. I see.
Oh, totally, because that's all it is. That's all that journalism is, like yellow journalism.
True.
It's yellow journalism rancid with pro-government propaganda.
So you're not afraid of just being like executed or something when you go back. I mean, I would be.
Another bullet with
I
your
would-
name on
That's
it.
why I'm going.
I'm a Novoselic. I'm a Novoselic. I mean,
I'm afraid no, sir. Right?
yeah, I don't know. I know what's going on over there. I don't have to explain it.
Oh, well, good. Okay. I think we should just drink more. Maybe that would be good.
Okay, hey.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I close that
Hey,
comment.
Kurt, are you getting custom guitars from Fender? Is some guy building a guitar for you after the show?
Yeah, I've designed a guitar.
What are the special features of it?
Well, I took a Polaroid. I took
It's
a
really
Polaroid
hard to
picture.
play.
I took a Polaroid picture of a Mustang and a Polaroid picture of a Jaguar, and then I cut them in half and glued them together and told them to build that, and it's called the Jag-Stang.
It looks real cool.
It does look cool. I don't know if it's going to be available.
But it
Well,
looks-
as long as you have one, I think that's
Yeah.
the point of those things, right? You just get your guitar.
Mm,
Cool.
I still don't really like it as much as the Mustangs.
Yeah, do you play it?
I need to do. I have to have something.
But it looks cool.
Lars
It looks
Ulrich
good.
started like
How old is
he
that
got
when you play
Tama
now
to
on
make
stage?
his own.
Oh, it's fairly new.
Yeah.
Yeah, they reissued Japanese Mustangs. I play those mostly.
So you're not like a big guitar collector.
No, they're too expensive. I have a couple of old Mustangs.
You can do it too.
Whatever I have in my hand. I've smashed a lot of vintage guitars before. I don't do it as much anymore.
Whoops.
It's like fun.
Good. Okay. All right.